want to bring on Bobby Albert, workplace culture expert. Bobby, how you doing today?
Well, wonderful. It's been a good Monday.
Oh, good. Do you name your vehicles?
No.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. How about if we talk about U.S. cities where employees are the happiest and the most miserable? Let's start with the positive. What cities do they have the most or the happiest employees?
Well, very fortunately, you're located in the number one city.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Sunshine,
That's
baby.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well,
so
go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask you, what makes employees the happiest?
Well, man, that is a great question because it really has less to do with what's going on in the city. It has more to do with the type of employers in Miami.
Okay.
And let me just share this with you. We're in this booming economy, and there's more people, that are employed than just about ever. And there's actually less people looking for jobs than there are job openings. So job opportunities are really great. And this is a signal to employers because apparently in Miami, the employers are doing a better job at engaging their employees. If I may share this, is Gallup did a huge sampling worldwide of over 1 million employees and over 85,000 companies. And what they found were 5 things that employees are looking for from their employer. And apparently Miami is doing a better job at this because what's really disappointing is only 33% of the employees feel like that their company are truly engaging them. In other words, 67% of the employees feel like that, that they're disappointed in what's going on in their company. They're walking the hallway speaking bad about their boss and about their company. But what employees are looking for, it's not necessarily happiness, but happiness is the result of doing the right things. And what it is, their employers are saying, they're engaging their employees this way, is that you care for me as a person. Do I, they're asking the question, do I belong here? In other words, fit in, and apparently they do in Miami. Can I contribute toward the goals of the company? And does this company stand for something? And do you create a learning environment that I can do the best job I can do? And apparently where you're located is number one in the nation.
Okay, what do you think? Is there any correlation, Bobby, between Miami's number 1, L.A. is number 2, Raleigh, North Carolina is 3, then you've got Louisville, Omaha, San Jose, Sacramento, Oklahoma City, Seattle, and Fresno. And I'm looking at, so Miami, L.A., Raleigh, North Carolina, San Jose, Sacramento, Seattle, and Fresno, all very, I guess you could say, healthy, a lot of sunshine, a lot of good weather. Is there any correlation with that? Because I wouldn't think there would be based on talking about interaction and employees feeling, like they're worth something.
Well, that's an excellent question. And let me just say this. You probably have read about it in Seattle, that because of, it rains often and those kind of things, that there's real high incidence of suicide there. But let me just say this, the weather condition, it plays a factor, but what's more important, and it doesn't make any difference if you're a boomer or a millennial or the Generation Z that's coming later on, they're all looking for those 5 things from their employers. And if that happens, if they're being engaged, they feel like they live in a happy city.
Yeah, I was going to say, I should have should have looked at this before I opened my big mouth, because I look at the bottom 10, Bobby, and you have Oakland, California. You've got Memphis, Tennessee. You've got Houston, Texas, Dallas, Texas, El Paso, Texas, Charlotte, North Carolina. Those are also beautiful places with good weather, yet they rank 10 lowest. So, okay, so getting back to your original thought. When I worked in television, I know exactly what you're saying. When I worked in television, I worked at one station where it was a pretty good environment. You felt like they listened to you. You felt like you mattered. They got sold. New ownership took over, and you felt they made you feel like you were a number, like your opinion didn't matter, and they didn't care, like you were replaceable. You were just a number to them, and it was awful. So I understand what you're saying, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yes, everything rises and falls on leadership, and just the example, man, you gave a great example what happens with an employer that's not engaging their employees. And in this booming economy, their best employees, if they're working under condition like you gave an example there, their best employees are going to start leaving, and it's going to be hard to recruit even good employees.
Here's the other thing, too, that I think is important, and some places don't think about this, but I think it's very, very important. And again, I'm talking to Bobby Albert, workplace culture expert, and that is Bobby Perks. You know, people just want to feel appreciated. They just want to feel like they matter. And I talked to somebody here recently, and he said, you know what? We work for a multimillionaire, and we didn't even get a Christmas bonus, not even like a $25 gift card to Walmart. That hurts. When it comes to employee morale, something as small as just, it doesn't even have to be something big, Bobby, but just when an employer lets their employees know that they do matter and are thinking about them, especially around Christmas time, just $25 goes a long way toward making somebody feel appreciated.
Well, you're really coming back to the in Gallup's survey, the number one thing is, do you care for me? Mm-hmm. It's not so much of the Christmas gift or the bonus. It's just in a relationship manner is, do you exhibit that you care for me? Right.
Yeah, and that is important. I think a lot of places just don't. They look at people as numbers, and at the end of the day, and especially now, Bobby, too, here's the thing. If you don't start treating your employees better, like you said, more people are working now, there's more opportunity, they'll leave. And you're going to have to retrain somebody and put all this money into retraining and redoing everything. So now's the time. You better treat your employees a little better than maybe you did before.
Exactly.
Hey, always appreciate it, my man. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, that's Bobby Albert, workplace culture expert.